So I just got off the phone with my attorney and we had an hour-long conversation, and I didn't realize until we got off the phone how much I don't like to talk. An hour conversation with an attorney who talks fast, who talks in depth. I'm a great listener, great conversationalist, but man, I do not like to talk that much. What's good, YouTube? I go by the name of Q. If you're unfamiliar, if you are familiar, shout out to you. Welcome back to the channel. I'm about to close on a house really soon. By the time you see this video, I would have already closed, but what I was talking to my attorney about was the closing disclosure, right? So they sent a file, right? The actual closing disclosure document, which goes over everything from top to bottom, from the seller side to the buyer side to the lender side to the title company side. It's a lot of moving parts with this thing, and I read everything. As y'all know, any document, all the fine print, that's what I do. I'm not an attorney. I've never studied law, never practiced law, but I'm a reader because I understand what lies in those fine prints. So I read all the documents yesterday, and of course the attorney, we had to have a follow-up conversation today, which was basically a briefing of everything I read yesterday. So we went line by line by line, by digit, by number, by credit, by debit, by everything. An hour conversation of all of this, right? And it was great conversation. Most of it I knew, but a lot of it was just, since I read it yesterday, since I studied the real estate exam before, I've tried to get my license on numerous occasions. I'm still actively trying to get it, if I'm being honest. But a lot of this stuff I've studied over the years, so it was a lot of repetition and redundancies, but it was important information because Kara needs to know this stuff as well. She's sitting on the call with me. We on a conference call, and when I say after I hung up that phone, I felt beat up. I felt beat up, completely exhausted. Like, I'm already tired as it is, but when I hung up the phone, I was just like, golly. This dude does that every day for work. Every day, like every day, all day. Just phenomenal attorney, by the way, so let me not leave that out. He's extremely knowledgeable, extremely personable. He's a family man like myself, experienced, right? He got almost 2 decades in the business, so he's sharp. I'll definitely be using him again in the future, and I'll also be referring him more than likely because he's just that good. He was talking so fast, and I'm a great listener, like I said, so I'm catching every word. I'm catching all the jargon. He's not talking over my head. He's just breaking everything down in layman's terms, right? He's talking to me as if I'm 5 years old in a lot of cases, but that's what he has to do, understandably, as a first-time home buyer. He don't know the knowledge that I have, and I don't show all my cards anyway, but it was exhausting. But it was what I needed to do, right? It was a step that needed to be taken, and we took it. And like I said, we're going to be closing on a house here soon, and I'm excited, right? I'm not overly excited, but I won't be excited until I get those keys in my hand and get my family in that house. With that being said, I documented every step of the process. Literally from the day I contacted my realtor, every step of the process I've documented. I've even compiled footage, so that way I can educate anyone who's looking to buy a home, right? As I've been educated myself. I learned a little bit throughout this process, and now that I've went through this process personally, I'll be able to share more information, more knowledge confidently and in depth, and break it down and give it to you all, because man, was it a process. I'm actually at the bank right now. I'm at the bank in the parking lot because I had to pick up a cashier's check. So after I got off the phone with my attorney, I immediately went to the bank to pick up a cashier's check for the remaining of the closing costs. I'll actually show you some figures right now. Here we go. So there's me, your boy, there's the date, and there's the amount, $9,400. $9,400, and that's actually an overestimate. That's an overestimate because they suggest that you pad the account, right? You leave a $2,500 buffer, so I won't need that whole $9,400, but whatever I don't use will be refunded to me at closing. So that's all the money they require from us, and we had more than enough, right? We had more than enough. Grateful for that, but we've been saving for 18 months straight. 18 months straight, and the time we moved out of that condo into my in-laws' basement, the plan was in play. 18 months, right? So like I said, it was a process. It was a process, like a real process. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of planning. It took a lot of strategy, but it's worth it. is very, very much so worth it. This is everything I've been working for. If y'all been following me, y'all know I talked about home ownership. I talked about real estate for the longest time on this channel. I've had this channel for 3 years, and things are finally swinging in my direction. So we're just gonna keep it moving. We're just gonna keep it moving like always. I just wanted to share this update with you guys because, like I said, I've been on the go. I've been extremely busy. I finally got time to get my hair cut. I was looking rough. I was in the caveman grind mode phase for a minute, and I finally got a chance to clean up because I want to look fresh for closing. But it don't stop here. It do not stop here. So like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Follow me on IG. Q Makes It Happen on Instagram. Go show your boy some love. I go by the name of Q. And like I always say, if Q can make it happen, you can make it happen. I'll holler at y'all next video. Peace.